It was interdimensional. It was only the moon and me. It was past pataphysical. It was what said the tune in G. It was long irresistible, like a thorn in a blossom tree. Or was lost imperceptible. It was nothing if not serene. I wasn't big, I wasn't small, I wasn't anyone. It was multi-directional. Wasn't there to determine why. It was plainly invisible, like the depth of the blue sky. I was whole indivisible, but you asked me if you could try. There was no individual. There was not even you or I wasn't big, I wasn't small, I wasn't anyone. Oh, up above and barefoot. My feet were on the cold ground. I looked a little harder. My life was blooming all around. The undulating order. My ears were bathed in strange sounding tunes. Oh, up above and barefoot. My feet were on the cold ground. I looked a little harder. My life was blooming all around. The undulating order. My ears were bathed in strange sounding.
Hello. How we doing today? I swear every time I start stream and I open up the face cam and you can see my bedside table there, I swear it looks so much messier than it is in real life. It's got like 4 things on it, plus my lamp. It's not that messy, but it looks it, and I hate it, but it's fine. How we doing today? I feel like it's been a while since we did a Monday stream. I feel like we've been skipping those a lot lately. But I've been feeling better, and I missed Saturday. So I was at a masquerade ball. Isn't that exciting? Actually, I have the mask. I can show you one moment. I think one of the best things about the new headphones is I can just get up and walk away, and it's fine. Look at this! So one of my friends, who I cosplay with all the time, had a masquerade party, and part of it was a little craft to make masks. So I did this. I was wearing like I think it's a vintage like wedding dress, but it's very cute and lacy and like has pearls in it. I'll put that on the table there for now. But yeah, that was lots of fun. I didn't know anyone else there. They were all of their university friends, and I'm technically a work friend, I guess. So I didn't know everybody, and there was a lot of times where, like, I didn't really have the full context to what they were talking about, because they were doing a lot of university gossip, but it was fun. I didn't mind. I just focused in on, making my mask while they were gossiping about school. I did just notice I peaked my mic a little bit. Am I too loud? Am I alright? I don't know. But yeah, we also danced. It was technically like a masquerade Bridgerton thing. None of us but them actually had watched Bridgerton though, so but we played some croquet, which I think I came fourth after being literally behind everybody the whole time until like the very end. So that was fun. Fourth out of six. And then um yeah, we did dancing. They coordinated a little I'd call it like a three-step dance essentially. Like we stepped forwards, backwards, turned both like each partner would turn each other and then you'd grapevine inwards and then grapevine to the next partner. So there's two circles and then rotate. It was lots of fun. Sounds good to you? That's good. I already have a ping on Discord. Let's see what it is. It's a question from Will I do not have to answer right now. All right. I'm loading into Minecraft right now, so it's probably gonna be a little laggy. Uh, fair warning. I keep forgetting that I should look at you guys and not myself on my laptop when I'm talking to you guys. Um, I guess looking at myself feels more human. Oh, I forgot I'd logged out on Hunter's dock. I'm lagging a bunch. I'm gonna wait till it clears up a bit. Finger kind of hurts. I don't done anything that interesting. I'm just like loading in all the chunks around me real quick before I tab in. I'm not playing without tabbing out of face cam. Don't worry. Let's go to spawn. Yeah, I don't think I've done too much because I've been doing a lot of prep work for the next series that we're doing with Withered Productions. And once again, that's all I can tell you guys about that. It saddens me that that is all I can tell you, but it is. So we're gonna be working on the cafe today. That's today's plan. No more sales on the misprints. I do kind of just want to look around and see if there's anything new. I feel like there isn't. I guess that's something that happened. I was on Will's stream on Thursday. Was it Thursday? Whoa, that's a lot of diamonds for Jacksepticeye. That's the first time I've seen Jacksepticeye on our board. I like how this like joke bounty has just developed into just any famous person with many, many diamonds. It was Thursday. Words. It was Thursday. Yeah, that was lots of fun. Hi, Tawny. Welcome to chat. Why am I looking in a random chest? You know what? I think the next thing from our president should be that people need to clean up their chest monsters. Like what? These are getting out of hand. People have just left chests around for their shop. I don't think there's anything new since Thursday. But yeah, if any of you guys missed it, Will and Hunter went to couples counseling. And I was annoying. That was my job. Sometimes you've just got to be the spectator for couples counseling. Sometimes that's all you need to be in life. And just be really annoying about it. I like my bamboo's grown. I was worried it wouldn't have grown because I don't know how much people have been on. But yeah, I do suggest if you want to keep up with lore and stuff, you should probably check out that VOD from Will. It felt like not a lot of lore happened, but it kind of did at the same time. Yeah, we're gonna work on the cafe today. I know I said that I would like plot in my head what this should look like more. I didn't. I haven't looked at it once. That's my bad. Oh no, that has been going while I'm yammering to myself. Usually it goes slower. Big numbers? 40 stream streak. That is impressive. Wow. Because that's, if we do the math, like, I at most am doing 12 streams a month. And it's not that. That's like my at most. That's pretty impressive. Hello, Apple. Welcome to the stream. I really should put my stream link in the Withered Discord more often. I do it like once every like 5 streams or so. Mostly because I don't want to like clog it up, but I know like that's a silly thing to be worried about. Yes, you were the therapist. It was great. It was a good stream. The thing is, it has made me realize that like I need to maybe record my POV of Will's stuff a bit more because Will gets like character lore drops from me like constantly, and then we just don't address it on my stream or in any of my recordings. And I definitely need to like have that in my YouTube series for it. But are you popping? What are channels there if not to spam them? That is true. Ugh, I don't like doing it though. It's scary. I think I just need a bunch of stairs still, right? Like, I don't want to overcraft it, but I think I still need like a bajillion, so. I don't like that it's snowing. It means it's going to snow inside the cafe. And I will be sad. But it's fine. Oh! Yeah, I really don't know what this roof's gonna look like. I didn't really bother to actually think about it, despite saying that I would. My bad. Oh, there's also this part where, like, who knows what this is gonna look like. Maybe I'll just stick, like, shelves here, honestly. I need my bamboo to grow faster. Apple is very scary. This is true. So intimidating and terrifying. Yes. Okay, this is what we got so far. I think honestly what I really need in life is just to build up the walls a bit more. Should I have window? Window here? Perhaps, perchance? Perchance a window? I swear I just like briefly heard like music. Maybe I'm hearing a bird. I might be hearing a bird. It might be a chickadee, actually. Maybe we'll give Wrigley Theria a visit to get some bamboo. What am I trying to do? Okay, I only have one thing of maple? Interesting. Um, the question too is like, what the heck am I doing here? Shells would look good? Yeah. I've been doing so much building lately and I've wanted to stream it, but like, spoilers. Okay, so I want window here. And I want like the effect where the glass like goes behind this, and then there will be a version of this on the other side. Will that make sense though? Because it'll poke out kind of weirdly. I don't think we care about that. I think that's okay. Is it? I think it's fine. I think we can have it poke out on the outsides. Honestly. Do I have glass? I don't think I brought glass. This is gonna involve a lot of me running back and forth. I don't think I brought glass. Let's go see if I have any glass at home. I don't know if I do. I think I definitely have sand, though. I think I collected a lot of sand. What was I collecting sand for? Do we remember? There was a period of time when I was collecting a lot of sand. I can, like, I have the visual memory of discussing, like, bloodbound theories with chat while digging, like, heaps and heaps of sand. There's something in the interdimensional mailbox. I'm allowed to snoop. Ah, this is Will's letter. Interesting. Relationship. I like that. Relationship. Let's put it back where it was. The profits will grab that later. I don't control when the I totally don't control when the profits grab letters. I have no clue what that's about. 26 glass. Do I want it white? Do I want it a fun color? I usually do white if I'm not doing a fun color because it looks nicer. Teddy, you can take from my chest in my base for bamboo. Have I been reading chat messages properly? I swear, like, the past couple times I've been reading chat messages, it has not, like, fully made sense in my head, and I don't know if that's just my brain's not working or what. Okay. What kind of glass do we want? Guys. Guys. I think I just want white. Unless we could do, oh, I really shouldn't do bamboo trapdoors, but I have done windows like that before. Time to go thieving. You have a lot of sugarcane. I like how it's clear I have not visited here much at all. I'm liking quite a bit. Probably because it's raining. That message was written weirdly. I think you're in Cheka. Good, good. It's hard to tell. I mean, like, most of my chatters are dyslexic, so I never can tell if I'm struggling to read or if they're struggling to write, you know? Oh, I see your bamboo over here. You said there was a chest, though. Your chests are in your basement. I didn't see a basement. Oh, it's because it's on the outside. You've got like, oh, you got one of those like basements like it's a tornado shelter. A place that has tornadoes. I'm like super laggy. So where might it be? Not there. Which one is it in? It's next to the flower chest. Uh-huh. I'll take that much from you. I won't thieve you blind. And then I'll also visit Wrigley. This is wild. I never really, I guess rain just really makes me lag because like the snow doesn't really lag me quite as much. No, nobody has been in Wrigley's area. That's fine. This is probably enough for now while we wait for mine to grow. I know it's nighttime. Let's sleep in bed. What have you guys been up to lately? Anything interesting? I didn't grab any white dye for this. That's fine. Um, I have so many things I've been working on that I legitimately can't tell you guys about. How sad. How absolutely sad and I can't grr. I can't wait till the next series starts and I can just yap with chat about that stuff. It'll be so good. Right, guys? You'll be so excited to learn all the things. All the things. I think you guys will go a little crazy over the character too. I think that'll be a cool thing. Why is this wood differently? Let me up! I want uppies. I mean, it is like that on both sides. Oh, I've done that for an inner wall aesthetic. And it's bad on the outer wall. Hydrate or dihydrate. Okay. I'm prepping a new skin and playing CRK? What's CRK? I don't know acronyms for things. Oh, Cookie Run Kingdom. I've seen that you guys have been really into Cookie Run Kingdom lately. I've never seen the appeal myself, but I have seen that like all of the withered people, not all the withered people, but a lot of you guys have been really into it past couple days. I think it's because I don't see the appeal of like gotcha games. And that's very specifically like just how I was raised to create my money and stuff. Though I know like you don't have to pay necessarily for gotcha games, but it is highly encouraged. And so I just don't get into it. Oh, my E button's a little broken. Just a little bit. Okay, we need to figure out what the heck we're doing with the windows, I think, before I go around putting walls up. I think we gotta focus on that. So let's grab these supplies. I know I want a window here. We'll want it in one. These are gonna pop out is the thing. Maybe I should I just like bring the wall in? I think I will, honestly. I I think that's what I'm gonna do. Like this. Tony isn't streaming it for you. Oh, what was you? What was you, Apple? Who are you? I'm trying to read chat. You guys are talking very fast. Wrigley, I feel like it is on brand for you to like Cookie Run Kingdom. I don't know a lot about it, but vibes wise, it gives a vibe that you would enjoy it, Wrigley. One of my cosplay mutuals cosplays from Cookie Run Kingdom since basically its inception, I think. To be fair, I don't know how long it's been around. But it was right when I first started hearing about it, they were cosplaying from it, and I was kind of curious about that. Limdo. I can't remember why, but we follow each other on Instagram. They're like one of the first ones that followed me on a different platform than TikTok. And I legitimately can't remember why. I do remember we were like doing something, like some sort of project together. It might have been when I was in that Dream SMP cosplay group. That's some Teddy lore for you guys. I was in a cosplay group at one point. I've actually been in many cosplay groups. All of them have gone downhill. Not necessarily socially. I mean more so we did lots of planning and then we never got around to like doing storyline or anything like we wanted to do. But I think they're a mutual from that. I was trying to grab these and I need more stairs. Yeah. I'm not reading a bunch of your messages out loud on the Cookie Run Kingdom stuff, but I am reading them in my head. I would like to make clear. Let me in. And then I can fix this so it looks good on the outside, I realize. Ha. Oh, ha, ha. Yes. That is going to annoy me greatly, is it not? I guess I could poke it I could just put it over a smidge. I don't have to do this to myself. We could bring it back. What am I doing? Not a lot of the thought process is fully happening right now. Let's be surreal. And then we get rid of this. And then yeah, yeah, it just sticks there. And then it's even and even Stevens. Open my inventory. You guys are shipping the cookies? That's cool. Yeah, I've never been into it. I do know there's lots of shipping material for it though. I do find it really funny being someone not in the fandom, hearing like talks about the like weird cookies that are there. Like some of them, like I can see the appeal in the naming structure, but like the idea of eating some of the cookies with the names they have, no! How rude of my block to have done that to me. Did I finish that sentence? I don't remember. The window. Big ol' window. And then you need to poke out a little bit too. Like so. And then we've got window action going on. Let's place this walls. This walls? Grammar. Mold cookie dough? I think I'm okay, Apple. I think I don't need to take a bite of that guy. Does it have like poison powers or something like that? I know nothing about how it works. Is it my assumption has been it's like an idle game. Is it an idle game? Where you like idle mixed with gotcha, or do you like actually run around and do things? I also Jack and Cam, I think, were talking about it, and I got a bit of context about there being like a lounge and you can have like clubs together. I know nothing about this game. Where is the mans who wants me? I don't know. I needed some legumes. And I think I will also need another thing of stairs. There we go. Hop on back in. He does chaos damage. Of course. That is a type of damage that a cookie can definitely accomplish. Makes so much sense. I did not need more stairs. I have lied to myself. This is a really ugly tiny window that's like really oblong. We live, we thrive. We make do. There's a very loud airplane passing my bedroom, but I know you guys can't hear it because this mitten on my mic is super effective. Mostly an idle game? Yeah, okay. So I was right. It's like a mixture of idle and gotcha. Okay. You weemdo. So, has anyone been getting just a bajillion clips for the new Descendants movie promotion just on their like TikTok for you pages? Because I have. And I have the new song so stuck in my head. I don't know why. It's like it's not even out yet and they've only like released, I assume, like the first song that plays. Is there a Ender box? Yeah, we're gonna call it that. I've had the perfect princess song stuck in my head. And literally I think promotion for it started yesterday. But I swear every other video on my TikTok For You page has been Descendants, and I have not watched any movies since the second one, I don't think. Like, I am not into the Descendants franchise anymore. I guess TikTok's decided it's one of those fandoms that I'm going to live vicariously through clips of. Um, Now, cute window, good. You know, sometimes I forget that I like I do have things that I say very specifically in specific voices when I'm streaming. I realize I did not fill out the form. I'll do that when I get back from putting my diamonds away. Um, and I don't really think about that because it's like how like Stampy would call monsters googlies and stuff like that. And sometimes I do that because I grew up watching him, but I do it very on purpose. But yeah, things like Wimdo. Oh, and Hungy. I do that all the time, and I only do it on stream. Wait, they're making a new one? Yeah. They've started, I think it's a new trilogy, the like Wicked Wonderland one. Are you aware of the first Wicked Wonderland one, which I have also not seen? Essentially, they wrapped up the original trilogy because a lot of the actors didn't want to come back. Well, that's not how you spell my name. Two stacks, maple. I can't put the date there. I'm not going to. Meow, you're watching this. You know I've paid legitimately. Um, I also everybody just followed the money frog light payment system. I don't know why. What am I doing? I need to do this from the outside, I think. I should play Cookie Run Kingdom. I will not be doing that. Wrigley, remember how I just don't play games I'm interested in? That's one of those games. I see no enjoyment in my life of consuming an idle game, especially on stream. Like I've played some mobile idle games like off stream, but I rarely stay attached to one for more than like a month, and I couldn't be bothered. But yeah, it's just like how I have no interest in like Tamagotchi life. I'm very specific in my game. I did it because all the shops do it. Yeah. And everybody, like literally Mar and Sunny, I think just did it so they could track things easier. And they were the first ones to do it, and everyone just followed it. Um, where am I? Okay, I've caught up on chat. Yeah, so yeah, the I think it was last year, might have been 2 years ago. They started a new trilogy for Descendant, called Wicked Wonderland, and so it takes like the Wonderland characters, and they went back in time to like save the day, sort of fair. And so the new movie coming out is showing like the repercussions for going back in time and essentially just changing how everything works. I'm kind of debating if I want to put lighting there instead. The glass will be here and then that'll be on the outside. I kind of want to do lighting. So all this work I've just done in the past like 5 seconds, yeah, no more. Cleaning it up. um, but yeah, they've got a second one to the Wicked Wonderland trilogy coming out, I think this month. They're doing a bunch of promotion for it. And I have not watched any of them. I didn't watch the first one. I've only seen clips of it. And I didn't watch the third Descendants, like from the original thing. But yeah, I've been getting all of the promotional clip for this movie, and now the song, the like intro song they have, it's stuck in my head. I can't get rid of it. It's funny because originally, so they released like a music video version of it first before the movie itself came out, and everyone was hating on it, and so that's all the clips I was seeing. And now that the like intro clip from that song that's actually in the movie has come out, like everybody's like praising it. It's so funny. Puppies. There we go. Yeah, I get a lot of movie and show clips. Like probably sorry, I really don't like how that looks. But it doesn't matter because we're gonna have the mangrove on this side too, and you won't see how nasty that looks. It's imaginary for now. Um, yeah, most like popular media that like is kind of adjacent fandom stuff. So like I know everything that happens in the Amazing Digital Circus, not because I've seen it or because like I have friends who like it, but because TikTok has decided that it shall be my interest. And you kind of just accept it. I know the plot of far too many things. I don't like that that doesn't poke out. I might like drag it in. Give me, give me the block. Give it to me. I keep forgetting to place these before I place the like all-sided ones underneath. I'm a silly Billy. I'm excited for this cafe. I don't know if we'll do much plot things with it, but it'll be a nice, cute thing to have. Okay, what's the color palette going on here right now? I kind of am not a fan of what I've done, but we're gonna just go with it. Sometimes that's what you gotta do. Sometimes you have to make do and pretend you don't hate it in order to like it. I think that's what people call the trust the process phase. We don't believe in the trust the process phase. It's mean. I think it's because I've been building in creative a lot and been like, man, I'm a good build. I like this build. And then I go and I build with no plan in survival mode and I'm like, ooh, it's alright. But I don't like the idea of like pre-planning my builds. I feel like that wouldn't, with the content I do, I don't like the idea of that. I think part of the fun in watching my streams is kind of watching me go through this process of like hating it and then being like, okay, it's fine. It certainly needs more detailing for sure. So we just kind of have to slap things together and then hope the detailing brings it together. That's what we usually have to do. Because now the yellow just doesn't feel like it's meant to be there. We'll pull it together though. It's definitely gonna be pulled together with the roof. that I can't physically imagine in my head right now. Let's stick the outy bits on the windows, and then maybe we'll be happy. Maybe we'll enjoy life again if we have the windows in properly. I just have that song stuck in my head. What is there to talk about? Let's see. I've been trying to brainstorm some welcome back events for the different people who have been away from the server lately. But I've been finding all the ones I've been brainstorming take a lot more setup than I'd like it to, which is why I have not done it. Because I don't really have the time and energy to be doing all of the setup that I need to do if I were to do some stuff. Like, for example, like if you look at the minigame, that was going to be an event, but I just don't think I can pull together a minigame event fast enough for that. The other thing is I want to do a scavenger hunt across everybody's bases at some point. That might be a good towards the end of the server thing to do instead. You know? And I've been struggling to think of like what sort of events do other servers do, you know? My brain's been blanking on that front. Freebie! Freebie from the inventory! There we go. Yeah, like the thing is like early game events like a house tour and like an election and like weddings and stuff. Those are really fun and easy to set up. And I want to do something with a similar vibe, but I have been not been able to think of something. You could do white elephant gifting. That could be fun. I suppose we didn't really do that sort of thing for Christmas because we did the prank event. I kind of forgot about the prank event because I wasn't involved in it. I was busy around that time. Ba, ba, ba. Drop down. Yeah, when most bases are gonna be finished. Yeah. It's also a good just like wrap up event to like really just see how far the servers come. Especially considering we did do a house tour event at the beginning. Having like a wrap up event where we visit everyone's bases. I think that'll just make it good, like a good show of what's all happened on the server. We'll just do more. Many. I think there's a cave, like, right here. I keep hearing mobs. The clattering of bones and the groaning of skeletons. Okay, scary. I don't know, I'm shocked that I could reach through there and do that. It was good. It was nice. It was not. Oh. Yep, okay. That's about right. But I'm gonna love that from this angle. It's fine. Nobody cares, and so I should not either. That's the conclusion you must make for these things. I need uppies again. Where's Will to kill when you need? Wait, what, have I missed something? Oh, there's a bot in chat. Man, what's Will doing? Why he here to save me from the bot? He's gotta go kill them. Do you have mango for sale? You do. I will go grab my money. Yeah, nobody click on the link and buy bots. It's not real, it's a scam. I gotta say that because I can't get rid of them. Now, do you think this has been left here from the redstone machine? Or do you think I should be worried? You dear. What art thou? Don't click the lever. I think this is left over from the redstone machine. It is. Okay. We needn't worry. It was concerning for a moment. I like how I'm just gonna rebury this redstone. We needn't be concerned about terrorists murdering us all. Probably just need one stack. Yes. Pop, pop, you guys should give me an insightful topic to talk about. So I'm really blanking here. You get the capital letter, I don't care. We're not fixing it. Oh, history fact of the— oh, 2 history facts of the day, oh my goodness. What, I just looked up what day it was. I put it in the book. It is June 15th. Much further along the year has passed than you think it has. Than I think it has, at least. Going from, like, you guys started redeeming this in basically January a bunch. So we've been just going through the book. 4? 4 history day fact of the days. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I'll just read from the top. How many are there in today? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So yeah, if you guys redeem it again before the end of the stream, then we can read all of them. I'll just read the first 4. So, 1667, June 15th. The first human blood transfusion is performed. John Baptiste. I love how I can pronounce the French and then this last name, Denis. John Baptiste Denis, a French physician, transfused Pete's blood into a 15-year-old boy who had been bled with leeches. The boy survived, and Denis continued his experiment. But 2 of his other patients died from the transfusions. He was tried for murder, acquitted, and quit practicing medicine. I like. You have a 33% success rate and you just quit at that point. I didn't even know we could redeem more than one a stream. I think you can. It's just 500 points, is it not? I don't remember putting a cooldown on it. I might have. I think I only put cooldown on sound alerts. But I might have. It's been a while since I implemented this, so I might have, just for the fact that there is only a certain amount in the book, and I didn't want people spamming it, so I would run out. Who knows? Anyways, we should be in full face cam for this, shouldn't we? All right, next one. 1752. Benjamin Franklin proves that lightning is electricity. Franklin performed his famous experiment in Philadelphia. He flew a kite in an electrical storm, causing a wet spring made of hemp to using a wet string made of hemp to conduct the electricity to a house key attached to its end. The hemp string was connected to a dry silk string that Franklin's son William held. The silk string was intended to insulate him from the electricity that the kite might pick up in the storm. While popular culture often depicts the experiment with the kite being struck by lightning, this did not in fact happen. The string picked up electricity from the charged air of the storm, and the loose threads of the hemp string stood up. Franklin moved his hand near the key and saw an electric spark, proving the lightning storm was conducting electricity. He wrote an article describing the experiment in the Pennsylvania Gazette that October. His experiments led him to invent the lightning rod, which are still used to protect buildings from lightning storms. You could just do like any experiment back in the day, and it was revolutionary. Like, I feel like the assumption that lightning is electricity just seems obvious nowadays, but I guess you're just kind of told that as a kid, and you just believe it. Well, we got 5 redeems in a very short time, so I don't think you did. Yeah, 5. Oh, there is 5. Wrigley did it again. Okay. I'm gonna run out. There's only 8 in total. You have 8 for today. 1775. George Washington is appointed the commander of the Continental Army. Washington's military experience in the French and Indian War, prestige among Virginians. I'm struggling to read today. I'm so sorry. And credentials as the dedicated patriot made him an ideal candidate in the eyes of the Continental Congress. Washington recruited Baron von Steuben to train the new army and established an officer corps that included Nathaniel Greene, Daniel Morgan, and Henry Knox. After 8 years of fighting, the colonists won their independence with the signing of the Treaty of Paris in 1783. Another one. Wrigley's been saving up those points. This is how you guys are gonna you guys get to see yourselves. Too bad I'm looking at chat right now, meow. Otherwise that probably would scare me because I'm in an open area at night. You guys get to see how American it is, because usually I try to wade through all of them to find like the least American facts. But since you're redeeming like all of them, you get to see just how American these pages are. That's the fun part. It is. Okay. 4th one. 1846. The Oregon Treaty is signed. The treaty established the 49th parallel as the border between the United States and Canada, from the Rocky Mountains to the Pacific Ocean. That's it for that fact. That one's much shorter than the others. All right. And so that was the 4th one, and we've got 6 now, right? That I have to do? So 5. 1864. Arlington Nation Cemetery is a national cemetery is established. The cemetery was created on land around Arlington Mansion, which had formerly belonged to a Confederate General Robert E. Lee that was confiscated during the Civil War. Originally built for Civil War dead, it became the final resting place of many of the soldiers who fought in America's wars. Why do we care about that? That could be so real. I feel like there is probably a lot of graveyards, like cemeteries, for that sort of thing. I'm curious what makes that one so special to be in this book. One more, correct? 1888, Wilhelm II becomes the last emperor of Germany. He established an aggressive foreign policy posture that resulted in Germany supporting Austria-Hungary in the crisis of July 1914 that brought about World War I, sorry. Wilhelm was not an effective wartime leader, and by 1918, he had lost the support of his generals. He abdicated the throne and fled Germany for exile in the Netherlands, where he lived until his death in 1941. There we go. I did realize partway through that, actually, I think the reason I'm struggling to read as well as usual is I am actually wearing a corset today. So I can't intake quite as much breath as I would normally do to read an entire passage in one breath. Which is probably good for me. Honestly, it is probably for the best that I pace my breathing properly. You know? But yeah, my back was hurting today, so I'm wearing my corset. There's footy steps. I hear footy steps. Oh, there's a creeper! That one's real! Oh, that one's extra real! Oh dear. They pincermanövered me. Let's leave the building. Hello, creeper. Oh, I just realized you guys can't see. Let's fix that. Do I not have my sound alerts visible on facecam mode? Whoopsies. Where are the creeper? Where did it go? Hello, sir! Get over here. I would like you where if I do not kill you effectively, it does not cause much damage. Yes, hello, sir. Run. Good. Did you guys enjoy the history facts of the day? I did see Wrigley you request I add Sun Tzu. Where is the other creeper? Did it despawn? No, it is there. We have an accent right now, it's fine. Yippee! Okay. I probably will add Sun Tzu at some point. I didn't originally have Sun Tzu at my desk, I don't think, when I set them up. And now I do really enjoy the running gag of whenever like I die in a video game to just start reading it. Or like I'm waiting for somebody else to do something. I find that really funny, which is why I haven't added it yet. I also like said forever ago I was going to update my stream emote. I also have not done that. I need to do that because we have really good emotes now, and the ones that are currently available are bad. I will admit, they are old ones I designed before I even started streaming that I just stuck in there when I got affiliate for the sake of it. And I think I should do new ones. I think I want to dye the glass panes yellow. I think that's what I want to do. So that's what I'm going to do. Let's go get yellow dye. Oh yeah, you did say that. I did say that. Yeah, that guy is probably gonna disappear sometime soon to be replaced with the guy that looks like my Minecraft skin. Um, because I originally designed those guys to be like me talking for like little TikTok videos and stuff, like doing voiceovers before like I face revealed and stuff. So when I got affiliate, I just shoved them in there because I didn't have a use for them anymore. Now I got new guys that are like cute and look like my character. You like the Psy? I guess I could make a like new version Teddy Psy. I could do that. But yeah, that's what my persona used to look like, but I didn't really like the skin I'd made for it. And I'd been bouncing between skins for a while before I settled on this one, and I really like it because it's super cute. Yellow glass, and then glass panes. I got a stack, and now we fill it. That really confused me for a split moment. It is a little vibrant yellow, but I don't hate it. I think it works. Um, a little bit. Oh, I just remembered this isn't supposed to be there. We're gonna put lighting there, which I should have grabbed my yellow frog light. Let's go grab my yellow frog lights. No. You like how I immediately decided I wasn't actually gonna do that? We'll grab the frog lights after. I decided on it. But see, I like when they tuck behind the thing like that. It just adds a bit more depth to it all. Upbeat. You guys didn't give me anything to talk about. You just had me read to you guys. I don't mind. Yeah, I think that'll bring the color up a bit more. I'm not loving the color balancing I have so far, but you know. Um, that's okay. I think taking a break from cleaning is probably a good idea so you don't burn yourself out. Oh, we're out. Can I die? Already stained glass? Can you do that? No, you cannot. Okay, we need yellow frog lights and just a smidgen more glass. You said China? I could talk about China. What do you want to know about China? I've written a few essays, but the course I took on China was a very cursory history. Um, I'd like to take more someday so I can have a bit more of an in-depth knowledge on Chinese history. I also took it in second year, so it's not as like recent. Actually, I'm gonna want more glass regardless. So let's just smelt a bunch. But yeah, I wrote I wrote an essay on like fashion history of China, like the like. Sorry, I'm struggling to focus. Did I just kill that? Whoops. We're gonna need a new bucket. I also need my yellow frog lights, yes. Yeah, so I'm just sorry, I'm really blanking today again. We've gone to an hour in the stream where my brain stops working. Um but yeah, I did an essay on the transition from, oh goodness, now you can really tell that it's been a while. But like kind of the cultural revolution that happened in China from the transition of like empire to a republic. And I focused a lot on fashion because that's where my interest lies. I really like fashion history stuff. But yeah, like I wrote an essay on the transition from having forced why am I forgetting what the people are called? Who ran that dynasty? It was not like the Han Chinese. Was it a version of Mongols? There is a specific word. Who wears the queue? I mean, okay, I'm gonna literally just grab my notes. 1 second. I think this is the right notebook. Let's see. That's not China. This is Korea. Ah, gonna take myself out. I did just realize I did give Will one of my notebooks. It is what? Oh nope, this is it. The Manchu, yes, the Manchu. So it's the Qing. Here are my notes. Yes, so it's the Manchu, and they run the Qing Empire or dynasty before they fall and stuff like that. But it's a very interesting thing where, in order to suppress the Han people from fighting back against the dynasty, they did a lot of cultural reinforcement to make them conform to. I still needed my yellow dye. To Manchu culture, so they'd be less distinguishable from each other. So you had to dress in Manchu cultural attire, and you had to have your hair in the queue, especially if you worked for the government. And that's how it started. Is they started just requiring if you worked for the government that you have the queue. And for context, the queue is the like long, like braided ponytail and the like shaved rest of head. That's that hairstyle. And an interesting thing happens in the turn of the century where I thought I had a thing here. Crafting table. I do not. Where they're investing in international relations. So the Opium Wars have somewhat mostly concluded. And so Yeah, that's good enough. Let's sleep. And so they're focusing a lot on doing international relations with the United States and Europe. Mostly because they have kind of learned the lesson that having closed borders, like they have for most of history, and now that is not entirely true. They had closed borders to the United States and Europe for trade, but the China was not closed borders for most Asian countries at all. There were certain ways you could trade with them, and it even wasn't 100%. They did offshore trading. So they had like specific islands that they would meet people at that they would trade with people. And that is the same for Japan as well during their closed border trading times. There is no such thing ever really as closed border nations throughout history, as much as like they try to teach you that pre-globalization countries could do that. It really wasn't the case 100% ever. Um, okay, I need to get on that side. So an interesting thing that happens is all of these people are being like the government is highly encouraging that the Chinese people go abroad. And this is not what I'm meant to be doing right now. It's encouraged they go abroad and they learn a bunch of the um, technological processes that international people have. Like, learn international relations, learn about the new technologies, start developing their own sort of affair. I'm not place the block where I want it to be so I can focus on talking about China for Wrigley, please. Please, brain. Anyways, minor freak out of the way. It is a very interesting thing because the European countries are racist. And they think the Q is like really ugly. And so especially the United States, but kind of everywhere that is white, uh, starts. Sorry, gotta focus real quick. Um, starts requiring that, well, these people are required to wear the queue and dress in Manchu fashions. When they are abroad, they don't have to dress in Manchu fashions, but if you can imagine how long it takes to grow out a queue and then maintain it, these people do not want to get rid of their queue while they're living abroad, because when they return home, if they do not have a queue, they can be executed. Like it is strong enough of an enforcement that they can be executed over it. So they don't want to do that. And the United States particularly does this, but Canada does as well. And it might have happened in Europe too. I'm not 100% certain on that. I know this happened in the United States 100%. But they didn't want to seem like bad guys, so they didn't make the queue illegal. Instead, they started implementing sanitary laws. And what those contained were laws about how many people could live in a square foot area, along with other things of trying to maintain cleanliness in different areas. And so what that affects is these Chinese people who have come abroad to learn or work, are often living in smaller spaces altogether because that's what they can afford, essentially, in foreign areas. Similarly, they put out laws against possessing different drugs, particularly opium. And of course, like even now, they plant drugs on people to arrest them. They would do that. Not only would they do that, but like obviously a lot of Chinese got addicted to opium, not out of actually having an interest in consuming opium, but because during the Opium Wars, Europe, specifically Britain, would purposely encourage people to get addicted to it so they'd be more capable of colonizing China. That's why it was such a big deal. I haven't studied a lot on the Opium Wars, so I can't elaborate really further than that. Goodness, I have many messages on the Discord that I'm going to continue ignoring. But yeah, so it's a combination of those two things. They start arresting many, many Chinese international people who are studying / working in the United States. And what happens when you go to prison? You get your head shaved. So it results in this thing. I don't know what I want to do with the walls here, so we're gonna leave it for now. Where they're able to arrest all of these people and force them to chop off their queue. And while this was mostly intentional by the US as a way to force them to conform, it also forced them to be unable to go home. Because if they returned home without their queue, then they'd be executed. Now, this somewhat resolved itself with the fall of the Qing dynasty, as with there being no longer a Manchu dynasty in power, the Han people were free to wear whatever they wanted. And there was actually a lot of haircutting rituals in the ensuing decade or so of people like going out into like the courtyards and stuff and publicly chopping off their queue to reclaim their identity as Han Chinese. This also becomes an interesting time for the Han Chinese because they have been ruled over for just under 400 years, essentially, by the Manchu. So this slow amping up of being forced to wear Manchu cultural attire, starting with just government officials and eventually branching out to the general people, has resulted in a lack of cultural identity for the Han Chinese. And so when the Qing are defeated, well, not defeated, but they kind of just petered out. It wasn't like a big overthrowing of the government. It was kind of like the king got house arrested and a prince got sick or something like that. I might have written it down. There was a reform movement. Do I write it in the next one? There's a bit of a rebellion. And then yeah, the emperor abdicated. And then I think he got murdered. But yeah, it's not like a major thing. Like there's a lot of social unrest that leads to it, but it's not like they bust into the castle or whatever. I think, well, they might have. Again, this was now 3 years ago that I learned this, and I'm trying to tell you off the top of my head. It doesn't matter how they were defeated. Anywho's, the problem is, this kind of coincides with the the Qing dynasty starts falling. The Opium Wars have just kind of resolved themselves, which has resulted in the British, other European nations, and the United States being able to have free reign, essentially, to interfere with China. Um, the main goal out of the Opium Wars was that these countries wanted to be able to interfere, and that's what they got out of it. And so, with the Qing fall, the Han people want their own sense of identity, but they haven't had one in over 300 years. And now this idea of new and sophisticated and progress is fully coming from the West. So like nice suit vests and like general, like, think office attire and stuff like that. That's all coming from the West. It is very much British influences of fashion. And so these people want to find their own sense of identity, but where can they find it? Because the options are continue wearing Manchu attire, and appear culturally Manchu, adopt new fashions that are coming from the West that just really feels like you've been colonized. Like, these people who you have been at war with, who now have their grubby hands all in the government and influencing your international affairs and such. Or you have the Han Dynasty from how long ago? Let's see. They skip over some dynasties in making their decision. But it's 14,000, 1400, 1,400 years ago, is when the Han Dynasty is. And that's the dynasty named after the ethnic people, the majority ethnic group in China. And so that is, in fact, what they most identify with. But that was a long time ago. So there's a good portion of the population who goes back to that. And that's where the fashion movement for Hanfu comes from, is these people trying to readopt their historical cultural attire. So that's why Hanfu is actually quite popular still nowadays, as like a alternative fashion movement. Some of them do adopt Western fashion, but they add their own twist onto it by combining it with Japanese fashion. So that's a very interesting fact, and that's why you'll notice, like, oftentimes the types of suit and button-ups that a lot of Asian people, particularly Chinese people, will wear for like business attire, for diplomatic attire, stuff like that. The collar looks different, and it's because they based it off of Japanese military uniform slash Japanese school uniform. So that's why that color looks a little different, and why like even the way the suit itself is like sewn together. It's a combo of those two things. So that's a very interesting thing in this like cultural shift. And then there's the group who decides that like the way to stay true to themselves is to continue wearing Manchu attire. So they keep their Q. Um, so it's a very interesting time, and it's right on the cusp of World War One as this is happening. So there is a lot of importance on how people want to represent themselves in the international sphere, because all eyes are on you at that point. You're gonna like there is a war brewing. Everybody's in international talks with each other, trying to figure out who's gonna side with who, essentially. So yeah, it is a very interesting thing, and it's also at that time China's trying to figure out what kind of republic, democracy, government system they want. And that's how the like communism is spreading as well. Is there's all these youth movements. I don't like how this dirt is. I've run past it several times now and been like, I don't like the shape of this. I don't really know where I'm gonna go from here with this. I know it needs a nice roof, but I don't think I can focus enough, well, yapping to make it look nice. I also hate that. I really hate how this is looking, so I'm probably gonna shift that a bit. But I might just yap for the rest of the stream and run around and talk about history stuff with you guys. But yeah, it's a very like I did an essay on it. I'd honestly love to do even more research on it because it really is a time that pinpoints what um how people define themselves in like in history, culturally, and throughout the world. I've phrased that poorly. But yeah, I think it really pinpoints like what that looks like when you're a people who hasn't quite been like successfully colonized by any group. You harbor a lot of resentment for most of it, but you have been colonized enough to lose a lot of your own cultural fear and then have to reach back so far in history to find that. So yeah. Hanfu is so nice looking. It is. It's beautiful. I'd wear it if it wasn't cultural appropriation. I think it's fine to wear it as cultural appreciation. And I say very specifically, like, there is a time and a place for such things. I think if you were in, like, visiting China and you went to a festival where other people were wearing Hanfu, it would be appropriate to get yourself some Hanfu by people who produce it, like, culturally, and wear it to that event. That sort of thing. And then if you have it, you can like wear it privately in your house. That sort of thing is fine because as long as it's an appreciation, oh, it's rooted dirt. Um, and you're not like wearing it improperly, um, trying to be like sexy in it, which I know you probably wouldn't. Stuff like that. Um, as long as you're doing it in an informed and appreciative way, that's what matters most. Um, but yeah, and you're not like buying it from people who are appropriating it, sort of thing. I think there can be um, a proper way to wear it if you so desire. But yeah, you couldn't wear it as like your daily attire. There's fine lines with such things. Um, what else? I have all these notes. I might as well see if there's something like that was something that really interested me. I don't know if there's anything else I could talk a lot about, but I have lots of notes. Dude, the sexualization of cultural wear makes me angry. Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. Like, I don't see you as the type to do that. Yeah, I have from the Shah. No, I don't actually have notes on that the Shah Shah. Some of these I have pronunciation guides written for, and then some of them I went, I'll know how to pronounce that in a couple years, and I'm like, do you, Teddy? Will you remember that in a couple years, Teddy? Um, but yeah. Why does it start at Han Dynasty? I think I was writing notes in a different notebook when I started. I can see it in my head. Let me grab it. Um, where art thou? Interesting. I straight up cannot see it anywhere. So, yeah, that one. I wrote an essay on that one as well. Um, I don't know where that I had a tiny notebook that I started out with and I filled it all out in that course and then I started writing in this one. So anything pre-Han Dynasty, I have no clue where it is. I have notes for it somewhere. Um, is there anything else interesting? I was really into the one female empress, but we didn't really focus on her in the course. So all I really know about her I learned from Puppet History, which is a very jokey way to learn about history. So there's not a lot of facts you can gain from that, sadly. Not as thorough as me taking like a university course on it, but she's pretty cool. Your hydrator dihydrate has been out of stock since I joined stream. Weird. Thank you for the wow. That's wonderful. Um, Wu Zetian. Yeah, she's pretty great. I like her. She's aggressive and fun. Why is that missing? I do remember it being missing a while ago. I haven't checked this post box for a while, but nobody like comes in here. Yeah. Um, see, you guys just have to get me on a topic and I'll yap forever. What now that I finished that talk, I don't know where to go from here. Um, we learned a little bit about China too in my East Asian sea trade course, but we were learning about a lot of the countries over there. Maybe I'll end stream early. That might be a good idea. Maybe I should just do that because I'm clearly a little tired. And I'm done working on what I was working on. She was actually very good at being empress from what I've seen. Yeah, Lo, she was such an effective empress. Um, and I think it's because like she took no BS from anybody. Um, she was very good at like wrangling the court and getting them to do what she wanted. I feel like you can see that a lot in a lot of female rulers. Here, I'm gonna log out of Minecraft and then just go face cam mode. But yeah, the a lot of female rulers are very interesting in that way. That like I took a course fully on Queen Elizabeth the First, And it is so interesting how she dealt with her court and with international relations. Like a lot of people, like there's a lot of mythology about her being the Virgin Queen and about her never marrying. And then there's also like a lot of mythology about how like maybe she was a little romantic and a little flirty and she just never like settled down with anybody. There's a lot of that. And when you actually like sit down and start reading about her and stuff like that, she's a very interesting character because her choice not to marry, but to also like lead on people, and be like, oh, I could, wait, maybe I'd marry that guy. No, he's not right. Maybe that guy. Like that is actually like a diplomatic strategy, like a political strategy that she was using. Um, and it's so interesting. And I find reading what I have about Wu Zetian, I know a lot less about her than Queen Elizabeth I because I have taken maybe two courses worth of like brief anecdotal stuff about her in courses. Meanwhile, I took an entire course on Queen Elizabeth I. But I've found that they're very similar in that way, where they were very smart in utilizing how like their femininity was perceived and using that to um kind of guide diplomats and the court to do things she wanted, without them feeling emasculated, because that was like a major issue obviously that women have faced through a lot of history. Is if you are a woman in power, it's really hard to get men to do what you want because you're a woman, and they get in their heads about that because they feel like it makes them less of a man to do what you want. Um, so like seeing that strategy in use of making the men feel like they are the ones making these decisions, um, it's very interesting, I find. Sucks they had to do it, but very interesting and very clever the way it's done. Especially like if you learn about, like if you study queens who were unsuccessful and you kind of look at the differences and you see how much these queens and empresses and such who were super successful kind of implemented what they learned from their predecessors of failed queens. It's just so interesting. I could talk about it all day, and I feel like you honestly you probably will see that in characters I play and how they interact with others. I have internalized a lot of that like feminine diplomacy in getting people to think something is their own idea. Stuff like that. I like playing characters who do that. So you'll see that a bit. I've missed a little bit of chat. Um I want to move to an East Asian country, but I'm not sure which one because China is homophobic and Japan has an issue with men doing things to women. I mean, it's yeah. I wouldn't say like move somewhere just because you have an interest in it. Obviously that there is a benefit to that and it would be good. I would honestly suggest, my parents try to tell me to do this all the time, but I don't have interest in this. Um, there's like teaching abroad programs where you don't need to have gone to teachers college. You just go and teach English abroad. I'd suggest like if you wanted to test things out and see what the cultural climate really is when you're like physically there, I would suggest trying out one of those, like being employed abroad for like a semester, 2 semesters, couple of years, something like that. That's what I'd suggest. Um, I think you'd have fun with that too, because like Chinese, so you wouldn't struggle on that. Like they'll send people who do not know the language to go teach English, and I think that's really stupid. And that's mostly why I have not done anything like that. Is the idea of going to teach English somewhere that I don't know the language of. it's a little colonial, you know. I'm not doing that. I can't get behind it, but I think that's something you would enjoy, Wrigley, and I think also like you'd get a lot out of it, um, while still being like culturally appreciative. I mean, you can teach any age range. Like it can be high schoolers and stuff. Um, but yeah, like it depends. You don't have to have a lot of experience with it. And it's not just teaching, like the most accessible program to do that sort of thing, like work abroad for a little bit, is working with kids. Like nannying and teaching are the best for doing work travel stuff. Like my friend's currently doing it in Spain. She's nannying for 3 months. She comes home at the end of this month. Um, why am I lagging so much? I can see that my face cam is going a bit. Uh, but yeah, like it depends on your comfort level and stuff like that. But I feel like that's a cheap way to try it out without just like going to on vacation there, which is like so much more expensive. Um, I haven't looked that much into the other ones. I read an expert for a test in history once about a female war general, and she was crazy effective, but got executed when she returned home because she wasn't allowed to leave the estate. Yeah, I mean it's the same. That's technically what happened in Joan of Arc too. Um, yeah, history's like that. It's stupid. And shouldn't happen. But hey, it proves that like women and people who are assigned female at birth can do whatever they damn please, and they'll be good at it. And the only thing holding you back is society. Um, stuff like that. Also, I was gonna say before, when you mentioned like it being dangerous for women slash homophobic in different countries, the thing is, it's all on a spectrum. And what you see legally versus what you see socially is quite different, in all the countries. So, like, a major example is like Japan socially and in their pop culture is quite open to like queer community, and like they are the top producers of gay media, but gay marriage is not legalized. um and yeah, it's an interesting nuanced thing how that forms and what happens in the legal structure versus socially and stuff like that. I wouldn't put all of your faith into what you are seeing online versus like what the legal system looks like. You kind of have to like talk to people who live there and are like part of the community and stuff like that to get a better vibe of it, slash live there yourself a little bit and like experience it. Um yeah, I don't know a lot about the different places, but I have that's like the major thing I've heard from minorities who have like moved to East Asian countries is talking about a lot of the differences between like reputation, legal structure, and then the actual social world. Um, there's big differences there, and a lot of the stuff you research like won't be 100% reflected in your experience. So I'd say it is worth it to go for a bit to just see what it feels like. The best way to do that is be there for more than 1 month. So getting like a work, like a job that like lets you stay there for a month or two is probably the best way to do it. That's why I suggested the teaching thing. I think there's other ways to do it though. Um, but yeah, I have the option to study abroad at this point too, but I think it'd be out of my price range. Yeah, that is also why I suggested the like working abroad, because doing the like working abroad programs at least balances out the like price a little bit, because like you're getting paid to be there. So you may not come away with money after doing it, but you won't have that dent in your wallet as much. Um yeah, my friend did a lot of research on it. I don't know a whole lot. past what she's told me because she's doing it right now. But yeah, she's au pairing. So that is like a big nannying abroad program for cultural exchange and stuff. I've seen stuff about Japanese people liking queer media and then being homophobic to actual queer people. Yeah, it's a spectrum, honestly. There's gonna be people who are homophobic and they hate the media. There's gonna be people who are very accepting and love the media. And then there's gonna be a little of that mid ground, as there is everywhere, is the thing. I mean, how many people have, like, with this craze about heated rivalry, have gone insane about that show, but are still like super homophobic? It's everywhere. It's not just a country to country thing. It's kind of just a very nuanced social thing. And that's not me saying you could be bummed out because everywhere is like that. That is me saying to actually be hopeful because everywhere is like that. You will be finding pockets of society everywhere you go that are very good and nice and form a good community and safe supports and stuff like that. You just have to look for it. Um, and you have to experience it. That's yeah. That's the sucky thing about it is you just kind of have to go and live it to feel it. And then, yeah. My main concern about China at this point is the government, though. Yeah, I mean, it depends. As long as you like keep your like you're American, right, Wrigley? Like the I guess right now I don't think the American passport goes as far as it used to, but it used to be the most effective passport ever. I know the Canadian passport right now is like one of the best ones to have. But yeah, as long as you like keep your citizenship when you are doing this, like that's really why I'm suggesting you try working abroad in these places for a bit is that'll get you the experience of living there, like actually situating yourself within the culture long enough to actually feel it um, without actually permanently living there and possibly getting stuck there if something were to happen, you know? You also have to be aware of, um, oh, what's it called? Culture shock. Even if you do all the studying you can about what it looks like to live in a certain place and to live in the culture, you will experience culture shock. And that means you will be very, very tired and you will be grouchy and it'll all kind of suck, but also be kind of amazing. Like you'll be amazed and stuff like that for like probably the first month you're there. Like it usually takes over a month to recover from culture shock. It usually takes like 2 weeks to start experiencing it fully, but it will take over a month to stop feeling it. And that was a thing that my friend had to deal with living in Spain, which like Canada to Spain, like it's different socially in that like Spain is a Spanish country, and is culturally European, but like Canada is also kind of culturally European, because the colonization, obviously, it being a colonial state. You wouldn't expect that much of a cultural shock, but she was like going through it the first month. Like I was getting a call every week um about like just different things that were freaking her out and stuff like that. And I was like, I know it sucks now. But just keep experiencing things and eventually you'll start settling and feeling more comfortable and processing things better. And yeah, especially if you're going to a place that is so culturally different, like the United States to China, you're going to experience that. And that is also why I suggest like doing a work program. Then you get to be there for longer. So you can get through that sucky stage, come out the other side, and still have things to continue experiencing. Like you're not spending the entire sucky stage there. And as soon as you're kind of starting to be done with it, you go home. Like you don't want that. obviously. Like that's not what you want out of it. You want to be able to experience it. You want to be able to learn. You want to see what it's truly like. And you won't be able to do that while in culture shock. Um, Culture shock's a very interesting thing. I know a lot about it because my sister is getting a PhD in anthropology, and so a lot of that talks about culture shock because you are studying other cultures usually. She's not, but like all of the courses to set you up for anthropology talk about culture shock and stuff like that. But yeah, that's my main suggestion for that. Obviously, like I haven't lived any of that. Like I can't give you advice from the perspective of someone who has done that. I can just give you advice from the perspective of someone who um studies history, has a sister who studies anthropology, and like pays attention to world events and news and culture. Like that's the best I can give you. But I would say be like don't be scared to do it. Um, the social climate right now can be pretty scary, and it is. Like there is no shame in feeling scary about that. Scared about that, I mean. Um, but don't let it stop you. There are good things anywhere you go. There might be issues accessing certain things. But in being American, you have a lot of privilege when it comes to traveling. Like, you personally probably do not have to worry about the concept of being deported in any of these countries, or jailed. It is possible. It's so rare. Um, it really only happens in extreme political turmoil between two countries that just a random citizen will get deported or will get like jailed within that country. Like it's not going to happen to you. But the chances is so low. Um Especially like you're quite young. Like you do not have any work or like research under your belt that might make a country put you on a list for anything. Um but yeah, in being American, you have a lot of that privilege in traveling, and obviously do your research. Don't do anything crazy. And stick, like, if you really are that worried, stick to the tourist areas. Um, or at least do it at the beginning. If you want to travel a bunch, like maybe just like spend your first couple days or whatever at the tourist places. Those are safe for a reason. They are tourist places because they are meant for foreigners. They are designed to cater and care for you so you don't have to be scared and so that you come back and keep spending your money. Um, because at the end of the day, they care a lot more about the money you spend in their country than really anything else. Um, but yeah, do it. If you that's something you want, at least give it a try. Don't be nervous to like don't let the nervous get in the way of your ability to do such things. Um, Everything's worth experiencing if you have an interest in it. Um, I don't have an interest in traveling myself. I've never been one to really enjoy going on vacation that much. Like it's all right. I never have had the motivation to do it. And that's why I don't do it. No other reason. And a lot of people think it's because I'm too scared to exit my comfort zone or something like that. That isn't the case. Like, if I wanted to travel, I would. I just don't have an interest. So I highly encourage anything that catches your attention that you dwell on for long enough to like be kind of considering it is worth doing. Do your research. Make sure you're doing it safe or as safe as you can do it, but do it. Don't lose out on that experience because of the fear of it. Um, you will be always happier to have the memories of something going horribly wrong than in the future looking back and going, damn, I wish I had gone and done that. You know? Like being unknowing of what could have happened will stick with you for the rest of your life. Going and doing it and it being kind of not great, like at least you did it, and then you won't think about it really. Like the regret levels is different. If you know, like that's kind of what I'm trying to get at. Um, I know my parents considered going on a trip to China, but my dad was getting always concerned about getting caught in the wrong place at the wrong time. I mean, like I understand that, but the thing is, there's also like there's a lot of propaganda in the United States that China is more dangerous than it is. I think especially if you're just American tourists going to the tourist areas, you're fine. Um, the only time I think you really need to be concerned is like if your family's like up there, they own this like business that's really investing in the United States government and stuff like that. Like you're not, you're a random citizen, I assume. Like obviously I don't know everything about your life and don't tell me everything about your life. Like don't tell me what business your parents run or whatever. Don't. I'm a random person on the internet. Um, but for the most part, most people are just a random citizen that like nobody could care less about, and you're safer than you think you are. And a lot of the fears that come with traveling really are just bred out of this fear of difference and like propaganda that is pushed by governments in order to push whatever narrative they want. China and the United States have had a long term conflict of interest. Like they have not gone along forever. So Americans are going to be pushed the idea that China is dangerous, and Chinese citizens are going to be pushed the narrative that the United States is more dangerous than it is. It's just that's the case. I don't think it's like take it all with a grain of salt. Take in what you can, but like do it with a critical mind, you know? Some of there will be grains of truth in it. There will be not truth in it, and it is up to you just to discern that. Um, Gotta head off to work. Bye, 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 meow. Thank you for sticking around. I'm probably ending stream very, very soon. There's 2 minutes till 2 hours. I managed to yap for like the extra half hour after I said I might end early. So, um, if I come across the opportunity, I will take it. Yeah, do it. I fully encourage it. And there also will always be resources to help you along the way. People want you to be able to be successful in whatever it is you're doing, whether it is they get monetary gain from that or it's just something they're passionate about. Whether you are still in the United States planning your journey, there's going to be people there that can help you do that. There will be resources online, there will be resources in person. Or if you are physically already there and something's going down, there will always be resources online and resources in person that you can find. What matters most is not getting too in your head about it and being able to calmly locate said resources. That's really where the key is. If things go down, you want to be able to calmly go, okay, what's my next steps instead of just shutting down, you know? And when I say if things go down, I mean more so like you're lost. Like you were trying to go to a restaurant down the street and you accidentally turned 3 quarters. Where the hell am I? Like people will help you. Um, and even if like your phone dies and you're lost, like there will always be people on the street who like don't know a word of English and don't know a word of whatever language you might also know that will try to like with charades show you where to go. You just have to be willing to step into that um, mindset to ask for help. It's not that scary. Like you probably will be scared at some points, um, but don't let it like settle too hard. Don't let it like fog your brain. Um, Everything's doable if you put your mind to it and stay calm. I'm getting very preachy here, I feel. Um, yeah, I was never under the impression that the second I step into China, I'll get arrested. Yeah, I just wanted to make that clear because the current political climate, I know a lot of people are a bit nervous about that sort of concept, even if they know logically that that's not going to happen to them. There is kind of that like back of the head like consideration that you just can't push it down, and sometimes it does need to be said out loud to be like, yeah, no, like I don't need to be worried about that. Um, because not all anxieties are logical, and sometimes a thing you're looking at that you think is what's causing the anxiety is actually being pushed up in your anxiety because you've got this back of the mind thing that you think is stupid, you know? It happens with everything, not just traveling. Um, Anything that you could ever be nervous about probably has something else that you already know is illogical in the back, shoving it forwards. Um, um, Birthday's coming up next week, so I asked Rack if we could watch an analog horror series. Ooh, that's fun. Uh, got skipped while I was reading, so I'm trying to figure out where I was. Trying to schedule, trying to get over the social anxiety level if possible. I think that's the thing. Social anxiety comes with practice. Getting confident comes with practice. I am actually such a quiet person. And I was super socially anxious prior to me streaming. And honestly, it was me streaming that really got my confidence levels up and got me to be a more chatty person. Um, and I know it sucks to be told to go practice something, especially go practice your confidence when you have social anxiety. It's the worst. But yeah, my main suggestion, find some sort of hobby where you are constantly yapping, and find some sort of hobby that like slowly kind of diminishes your shame about existing in public. So for me, like cosplay, it was a big thing for doing that because if you're cosplaying outside, you've got to like get over those mental barriers of, oh, people are going to see me. And I know, Wrigley, you wear like more alternative fashions. Um, so you're already on your way to like getting towards at least a level of social confidence where you're not scared to reach out for help. I don't know why I keep lagging. I'm gonna close Minecraft. Um, but yeah, I think you can do it. And sometimes getting over your social anxiety isn't about feeling confident, and it isn't about not feeling nervous. It's about doing it anyways, asking for help anyways. Like you might ask for help and then immediately after feel so nauseous that you might throw up, but at least you got help, you know? And doing that repeatedly will make it so you feel less bad every time you have to do it. Still lagging. What is happening? Maybe my phone's about to die. That could be it. Um, that's how government gets you. They plant the seed in your head. Exactly. Oh, you guys are going to enjoy my next character. I can't elaborate past that. You have to figure out what that means. Because I can't talk to you guys about what that character is going to be up to and doing until the series starts, or at the very least, until promotion for the series starts. You roasted the seed and ate it as a snack. Remember, it's still in your tummy, and you got to do the work to get it out of there. Um, you are never immune to propaganda, especially if you think you are. Um, so, suffice to say, what that means is everything you hear, think about. Don't just accept everything as truth. do your own research and connect dots on your own, and don't let something that you hear repeated a lot become the truth for you. Um, because then it'll reinforce certain things that certain people want you to reinforce in your head. Keep it in mind. Everything is a message sent from somebody. No matter how factual or logical it is, somebody has a message to tell you from that. And if you can take that with a critical mind, take what's true, figure out what the message is, and then separate the two, you will become much more understanding of the world. Um, and ever before. I don't know how to finish that sentence. But yeah, um, make it your own idea. Don't let somebody else's message get so entwined with the truth that you can't separate them, I guess is what I'm saying. And it's hard to do. It's hard to recognize. Even I will get convinced of things sometimes that aren't real. And sometimes, yeah, like nobody's immune to anything, and you will be, even you have your own messages you want to send, you know? Um, you just have to have it as a mindset more so than anything else. Like, you're never going to be perfect with opposing it. You just have to keep in mind that everybody is biased, including yourself, and you should be constantly trying to um, parse out bias, but you can't stop it, and that's okay. Bias isn't inherently bad. You learn that when you take history. Um, there's a really good song about this by the Narcissist Cookbook called David. I can imagine. I think I don't listen to a lot of them, but I know they write those sorts of messages in their songs. But yeah, um, very long, but tells a very peak story. I can imagine. Yeah. All right. I think that's gonna be it for stream today. We're almost at 2 hours and 10 minutes. Oh my goodness, you got me talking about propaganda for 7 minutes. Yeah, that's all for today. I'll leave it here. I don't think I'm gonna raid anybody because I mean Streamlabs is telling me I have just 2 viewers right now, so I don't feel the need to raid anybody. If I have more than that, I usually will, but I'm too lazy today. Thank you for coming. I can't wait till new series comes out. Hopefully I can edit some Arctic SMP stuff. I'm currently have run into the issue again of not having one of my VODs on my computer for some reason. So I have to decide. I might just not bother to keep that in one of my episodes. It's the Mar and Sunny wedding. So I might just like not. I might just not keep that as like in my episode. Um, but I have to watch that VOD on my YouTube to figure out if any of the content is important. But yeah. Donnie, I love that you were lurking that whole time. You gotta hear me talk about propaganda. That's how you know I have a history and poli-sci degree. Um, why is it Streamlabs is now telling me I have 5 viewers. Okay, love that. Anyways, I assume you guys were just lurking and the interact made it poke up. That'll be all for today. Thank you for coming. Have a good morning, evening, noon, afternoon, whatever time it is for you. Love you all and goodbye.